Now, Rubbin Minds today, we're going to be celebrating International Women's Day, maybe a day late, but we're still allowed. And I have two special guests here with me to talk all about, women and the issues around that and what they are doing, of course, to advance that cause. I have here Ugonma Adegoke from Women Rising. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
And Bayo Omoboriowo, Curator 100 Unsung Heroes. You're very welcome. What is Women Rising? What is that?
Women Rising is an annual concert and art celebration of women. International Women's Day obviously happens every year, and at the Lifehouse we use the arts to celebrate women. So we're celebrating literature, music and art over a weekend next week, 15th and 16th of March. Okay,
so I hear concerts and I just think another concert. Am I going to come and see Tiwa Savage again on stage sing? Not that there's anything wrong with her. I mean, why should I be interested in Women Rising?
Well, we hopefully, and hint, hopefully we have Tiwa next year.
Oh, great.
But the idea is, so you will see and hear some of the regular names. Waje is performing this year. But the key and the difference with Women Rising is we try to discover new talents, and we try to give them this showcase that is a very big showcase, giving them the audience that the Lifehouse has gathered over the years and putting them in a wonderful position to be seen. And there's also an experimental angle to it that we ask all the artists to do experimental songs. So they do their original music as well as covers of other great female artists in an experimental way. So that's the difference. So you have Waje covered Sade, Modele covered Whitney Houston. This year we have two artists coming out of the country. You have a Pilani from South Africa. We have Waje again this year because she's our honorary Woman Rising. She's our Woman Risen actually. And we have lots of nice new artists that you can look forward to seeing.
Interesting. Bayo, Curator 100 Unsung Heroes. I'm assuming there's 100 unsung heroes you're about to celebrate.
Yeah.
How does that work?
Basically what the project is about is identifying, highlighting, documenting the everyday Nigerian woman behind the scenes. There are women who don't seek to make the news, but they're actually making the difference. In their own little way, they are contributing to national development. So we are on a trip. So we don't actually have 100 at the moment, though we have a lot of nominations, but we're on a trip to look for Nigerian women. Is it the corn seller by the roadside? Is it the Akara woman? Is it the NGO person in a community in Akwa Ibom? Is it the classroom teacher? Is it a nurse in an hospital? Wherever the exceptional Nigerian women are, who are quote and unquote unseen, uncelebrated, unidentified, we are looking for them. We are documenting them using images and video documentary to celebrate their efforts. We believe so many Nigerian women who have done exceptionally well for Nigeria, like Okonjo Iweala, they are celebrated, they've been celebrated, and they are still celebrated. But we feel attention should be shifted to the everyday woman, because so many negative things have said. 70% of the poor in the world are women, many different things. But we believe we have to shift our focus to the positive. There are still some women who are doing exceptionally well. They might not be wealthy, they might not be public faces, but they are doing something for Nigeria. And in the spirit of celebrating Nigeria at 100, can we look for 100 exceptional Nigerian women who deserve to be celebrated?
So this is a process. It's not like an event. It's a process to find the 100, right?
It's a journey. We did the official launch on Friday with Dr. Obi-Uchendu, Waje, Honorable Funmilayo Tejo. Many top Nigerians were at Terra Culture on Friday. We did the official launch. So the journey started on Friday officially, and we're on the trip.
Interesting. Now, I'm just going to ask you, I want to find out from you, Ugonma, without trying to sound chauvinistic or anything. We have so many causes for women this, women that. Is it not an overflogged issue, you don't think?
I don't think it's overflogged. I think it's one's responsibility to keep celebrating oneself. So the men need to also keep celebrating themselves. I know if there's International Man's Day, maybe we need to form that. But Woman Rising, I always stress, is not a man-bashing event. It's not a women's lib event. We are just celebrating. We're happy. We're celebrating ourselves. Incidentally, Woman Rising, the template for the show, in between the performances is actual. We also have readings, and each year we have readings of little bits of poetry, and 90% of the readers are men. And I do that intentionally because I want to show a balance. So I'm saying we're great, we're wonderful, we're celebrating ourselves as women, but we also must celebrate the men because we're all one, sort of
Very true.
one piece. They say behind every man there's a successful woman and vice versa. I think we're behind, beside, in front of, we're just around. And so we have to go on the journey together. So it's very much something that involves men, and men are very welcome to attend the concert as well.
Yeah. Yeah. You get a lot of, like, I don't want to call it attacks, but things along those lines from men calling you like feminist and things like that. How do you handle things like that?
Oh, I have no problem, being called a feminist. I don't know if I am. I don't think I am. I think that once you're focused on one thing doesn't mean that you're anti another. You don't have to, because I'm focusing on a women's celebration platform does not mean I'm involved in, not celebrating men, but I'm just doing what I'm doing. And I always challenge them to come. Last year we had a few men who were afraid to attend. They thought maybe they were going to get lynched. But it's nothing. It's about celebrating womanhood and musical women and musicianship as well. There's also a technical side to this because the Lifehouse has promoted artists for years. And the idea is that we also want to extract the wonderful talent that exists musically and hopefully export that. Ruby Gang, for example, was on the platform last year.
Nice.
And this year she performed beside Ugonma at the Intl Prize for Literature event 2 weeks ago. That visibility was from Woman Rising, and that's what we want to do, and we want to hopefully take that international so that we allow these girls to focus on the original music, Nigerian music that is meaningful,
Yes.
and give them the showcase that they deserve, and also have fun while watching them.
Yeah. Now, Bayo, I have a friend his name is Trudy. I'm sure you know him.
Of course.
He's male, of course, and he calls himself a feminist. Are you a feminist?
I am not a feminist, but basically I believe in the Nigerian woman. I believe in the African woman. I believe they are doing well. My mother is a woman, and she contributed so much to who I am today. People call me celebrity photographer, award-winning photographer, but she gave herself, sacrificed so much to make me who I am today. She fought to make sure we got good education. She is just a case study of so many Nigerian women who are killing themselves. You see them work so hard. Now, this project we're working on actually came from a woman I met at Ojuwe Market in Mushin while I was trying to do a documentary for an international exhibition as a photo artist. And she told me that she sells lacasera by the road, these bags of lacasera. And then I was trying to document her, but I needed to seek her consent, talk to her first. And she told me, while I was talking to her, she told me she has some of her kids abroad schooling. And I was like, a roadside lacasera shop owner, I couldn't place the balance.
Yeah.
I discovered that many of these women actually have unique stories.
Yeah.
Some of them work from morning. We met another woman who was nominated and she stays in Suele. She sells akara by the roadside. And she told me that Christmas Day she was selling akara from morning till night. New Year's Day, where everybody were all partying, she
With her
was
akara,
selling
obviously.
from morning till night. And why did she do this? She wanted the best education for her son, who is in Covenant University Secondary School. And akara seller, who has a son in Covenant University, they pay so much. She said she has to raise 500,000 naira to pay for her child's school fees. I was wondering why an akara seller by the roadside would do that much for her child. But she said, I want him to have the best of education. There are women like that who don't actually have so much, but sacrifice so much. So I'm not a feminist. I'm only trying to celebrate the effort of Nigerian women. And the project is, we're making a big coffee table book that's going to be in embassies, that's going to travel all over the world to celebrate the effort of the Nigerian woman. There are negatives, but in Nigeria, there are still positives. And we're looking for those
I actually
positives.
definitely agree with you. And I say that because in spite of anything, we like to call on government for a lot of things. Or we don't have like government come and do road, women supports. We call on government a lot, but these stories are in spite of government. Because government is not the one exactly supporting these people per se directly. Which brings me now to the talk about this Ministry of Women Affairs. It's a bit of a dicey issue for me sometimes because I understand the need to have a ministry, to support women, for small and medium scale enterprises, to run parastatals that might be in that regard. But what do you, how would you, will I say, rate them in the years that we've had that sort of a ministry or government participation or government involvement with women in general?
I think it's hard to judge now, and I think it's a continuum. I think we need to be more celebratory about the efforts. I know it sounds like it's lame, but I think that we need to do more encouraging of the process. Nigeria is still young. These initiatives, we will make mistakes, we'll make them, and it's fine to make mistakes. You pick it up and you move on. I think that I'm very excited about the continuum, and we need to all get behind the continuum, whatever sectors we can. And as you said rightfully, we need to do it ourselves. The government, Nigeria is a massive entity. Yes, we expect them to do things for us and give us handouts. But if you have the energy, do it yourself. You know, I have a brain, I have a network, I have a mouth, I have friends, I have photographers, I have you, I have wonderful artists, I have a brain and an idea. Why not solicit and do your own bit? And in little bits, I think we'll get there. So that we don't really need to even have these spot checks or analysis of who's doing what and who's doing well. We all just need to be moving along. And that's what I think.